Hey, we're live to the world. That's great. Awesome. So, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. And wherever you are in this wide, wonderful world, you are welcome. Today, we're actually speaking on the forms of gratitude with attitude. And I have some phenomenal guests here. We're going to have a panel discussion about what it means to have a phenomenal attitude. Like we're saying this in the positive sense. And what gratitude means. But when you put them both together, how connected is that going to be? So I'm really excited. My name's Jason Cooper. I'm a sales relationship coach. I help deliver exceptional results with teams within sales. I already have one person, John, coming up and saying, hello, welcome, John. So thanks for coming in there and being part and parcel of this audience. So just without further ado, let me find my my introduction before we go ahead, and then I should bring everyone in. Hey, well, we're back. Like, that's a little bit of a sales pitch about me, but enough about me. Let's bring up Fred. Hey, Fred, how you doing? The man with gratitude, with attitude. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm full of gratitude today, and I really appreciate you inviting me on this panel today to talk about the importance of attitude and your gratitude about having a good attitude. So I appreciate that very much, Jason. I'm honored.
Fred, would you give us a little synopsis about who you are?
Oh, let's see. Well, I'm 76 years old, and I've been a barrage of a slew of things throughout my life, and I found out that your attitude is important in just about any and everything you do. I don't care what it is, or whether it's your finances, your work, your relationship, anything. Attitude is important. But I was a musician for 25 years. I was an electrician for many years. I worked for several corporations, and I've done some training and teaching. I was a Six Sigma expert. And since 2006, I've started, being an entrepreneur again, as being just a speaker, an author, and just kind of mentoring other people to be better at what they do.
Awesome. I'm actually going to bring another guy that I've known for the last 18 months. I really like Russ. He's incredible. He's full of motivation, optimism, enthusiasm. He's a fellow podcast host as well. I know you're going to like him. I know the guest's going to like him as well. So I just add Russ to the stream as well. Welcome, live and direct in the car.
How's it going, Jason?
Very well. Russ, look, I really appreciate you coming on board. Look, I know you've got 20 minutes or so before your next engagement, but look, I really appreciate you coming on board. Russ, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, what an honor, Jason. You're such a great friend. Fred, my new friend, Fred. I am so excited to meet Fred and all that he's about. So, hey, I'm an inspiration specialist. I'm a marketing coach. I help people in their businesses with sales and marketing, customer relations, internal relations, whatever they need as far as consulting with their business. I also obviously a keynote motivational speaker. I love to talk to people. Fred and I have that in common. I've been, throughout my career, I've been in sales and marketing my whole life. So I have a little experience, not quite as much as Fred, but I have a little bit. And been able to go out on my own the last 18 months and do what I love and just inspire and encourage people through all that I do. And that's what I love about live streaming and podcasting. So great. I usually have a show almost every day these days. So I have one coming up at noon Pacific time today. So super excited about the opportunities that gives me. And, I want to tell you that number one thing, I am so grateful every morning. I wrote a book called Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. And there's 3 things I do every morning. And the first one is to be thankful, be grateful. Before my feet hit the floor, I thank God for my life, for my wife, for all that I have been given and blessed with. Number 2, I tell myself that I've got this. I give myself a little pep talk. And number 3, I say today is going to be awesome, because we all filter life through a lens, through our little shield. And I want to put on my awesome filter every morning and make life as good as I can. So I am so grateful, mostly for you guys today, just being here.
Look, it's so good to have you on, because I believe that being grateful for what you do have, as apart from what you don't have, the problem is with us as people, sometimes we focus in on what we don't have. Correct. And the envy, the everything else. Something that said to me, is the grass green on the other side? You should really tend to your own grass, which means that you should look after yourself and be grateful what you do have. But really today is about gratitude with attitude. And what that actually means is, look, Fred, I know I've read all of your bios and I've read your book as well. Russ, I've had a look for we've chatted for ages, so we know each other quite well. So what is the main benefits of having a really good way of having gratitude? It's like, Fred, how do you see that? Because I know you got some great points up there.
But yeah, it's just like Russ was saying, it's how you start the day. Everybody can't wake up in this fantastic, oh, hey, this is just the greatest day. I feel good and everything. We wake up sometimes, you don't feel good. Things aren't going right. You got things like finances, all the things, issues of life that, tribulations are going to hit us from every direction you can get into. What your job is to do, and I try to teach everybody, please do something to change that attitude as quickly as you can. First thing in the morning, I put a list up on the mirror in the bathroom and I start saying good things about this is going to be a good day. I don't care how it starts out. It's not about how you feel right now. It's how you're going to be. And if you start with that attitude about, look, I got up, I woke up today, I swung my feet off the bed, I stood up, I didn't fall over. It's a great day. You have to look at all of the little things that you can list that are you grateful for. I'm healthy. I'm able to do things. I enjoy things. I have a roof over my head. I have food in the refrigerator. I'll talk about it a little bit later about changing your got tos into your get tos. And I love doing that phrase. And I do that a lot with my every attitude seminar I do has that phrase in it. And change your attitude, you can change your life. So these things, when you get up in the morning, you can change your attitude. Once you start changing your attitude to a positive one and being grateful for what you do have, chemistry in your body starts to change. And in my book, Up with an Attitude, I really stress that, because an attitude and your gratefulness is so important to a person's health. They don't realize how important that chemical change is when you change your attitude. If you're in a bad mood, it can hurt your immune system for a long time. If you're laughing and having a good attitude, serotonins and all of these chemicals go to work, helps rebuild your cells, makes you healthier, make you feel better. Even your wife loves you when you do that, right?
Change that. I love that. Russ, what do you think about that as well? How do you see that?
Well, we have had like a mind meld before this, obviously, Fred, because morning routine is the number one thing, I think, no matter when people get up. I'm a crazy 4 a.m. guy. I get up like at the crack of dawn or before the crack of dawn. A lot of people are not that early, but whenever you get up, you've got to start your day right. And you are exactly right, Fred. The number one thing that hits everybody when they start the day is all the worries and concerns of the day. And that's why intentionality is so important. That's the reason I intentionally do those 3 things every morning. It's not because I wake up every morning feeling that way. It's because I choose that every morning. And you writing things down and putting them up, all of that is incredibly awesome, because we need to remind ourselves, we need to move forward. And you're exactly right. It is physically healthier for you to be positive and to be and have a good attitude, because when you do think positively, life will be better. There is a great book by Craig Groeschel. The subtitle of the book is Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And that's exactly it. You change the way you think and the attitude you have, you will change your actions in your entire life.
I think our brain is a big supercomputer. So whatever you program into it will display on the screen. So if you type in, I'm having a bad day, generally you probably will have a bad day. But if you type in, today's going to be great, like you might have some challenges along the way, and you might have things that don't go to plan, which can be frustrating and they can be annoying. The key thing is, I always find, is you have to check in with yourself every now and again and make sure that you're okay. But it's to remind yourself, are you okay? But that's the problem with this life that we all lead, which is going 10 to a dozen, and we're going to one meeting into another. Russ, you're going to another meeting in a few moments. And you know what it's like? Sometimes you forget. But how do you get back being that grateful for what you have, but also going, well, how do I reprogram myself to get back on track? What do you both think about that? I know what I do, but let's have a see what you do.
Okay. Well, one of the things I do, like I said, I always try to think about all the things I am grateful for. Sometimes, 30 some odd years ago, I had some really bad things going on, and I thought, oh, what is this? I went to the doctor, and they did some tests, and they found out that I had a real extreme serious case of rheumatoid arthritis. And the picture that doctors and those folks told me was drastically horrible. Oh, you're going to, in just a couple of years, you're going to have hip replacements, and you're going to get all deformed, and your body's going to get really serious. And from the second they said that, I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to fight this with everything I have. I'm going to do whatever you want me to do, take the medicine, do whatever and everything. But immediately I started saying things about, no, my body's going to respond to this. It's going to fight this disease, this rheumatoid arthritis. And okay, that was 30 some odd years ago. That I had no hip replacements. I walk the dogs. My wife has a honey-do list, 47 miles long. And the things you got to go do. And I walk, like I said, I do a walk, I do exercises. I eat fairly healthy. And I've had no operations or anything. So the importance is you change that attitude. And to do that, you have to say things out loud. Positive affirmations, whatever your issues are, whether it's finances, relationships, you can go down, whatever you have, make a list of those and say how positive things about it. I will lose weight. I will get healthier. I will beat this. I will beat this addiction. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, or what, I will beat this. I will overcome this. Soon, like you said, whatever you put in here, it starts coming back out throughout your actions, your health, and you make better decisions. Mm-hmm. So those positive affirmations said out loud, and I know you guys will both agree with me. And one of the things that is said in the Bible says, yea, I say to this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea. And he says to say these things 3 times out loud. Say it out loud. Speak it. Say it, and it will, be yours. So speaking it out loud is so imperative and so important. So that's what I do.
I think it's also the language and the linguistics that you choose. And the power of 3 is like we use it. There's lots of different ways you use the power of 3. You use it in language, but you also use it in advertising, use it on persuasion and influence. But it's got to be with an positive intent. Without that, you lose it. But the key thing that, like, affirmations are great, but it's action that you need afterwards. Yeah. But it's also to cement a habit. You need to do this for 66 days to make sure you retain it. And it's something that I do first thing in the morning is as soon as I get up, breakfast, kids, and everything else, that push them out the door. But it's also to put yourself into a morning routine. And I find reading a book first thing in the morning really sort of gets my brain going and stimulates. And there's lots of other things that I like to do first thing in the morning to set my day up. I do my goal setting. I do my daily plan of what's going to actually happen. What about yourself, Russ? How do you set yourself up for success?
Well, I have a definite morning routine, and I am definitely setting myself up for success every morning. It's one thing that Fred said that I want to comment on first, and then I'll tell you what I do. And that is, I am 100% in agreement. Speak things out loud, write things down, do things wonderfully. And that will definitely be a positive influence. But what happens when you do have to have the surgery or things do happen? Does life fall apart? No. So Fred, you mentioned hip replacement. I had knee replacement because of sports over the years. I have a new knee in my left knee, but you know what? Life is amazing. I have a new knee. The exercise I do every morning, I can swim, I can bike, I can walk. And so, when things happen, that does not mean life is over. And I know, right. And that's the thing about attitude. Well, every morning I get up, I have a definite time of devotions and journaling, which I think is huge because not only speaking things, Fred, and I agree 100% with you, writing things is magical. So I speak, I write, I get out and I exercise, I swim, I bike, I walk my dog every morning. My little beagle, she wants to go out for a while. So we go out and get some good exercise for me and her. And so, those kind of things all get me started off right. And then I have time to clear my head with some quiet time before I hit the ground running. As you could tell from my schedule this morning, this is my life. When it's time, when things start, I hit the ground running. And then I want to be able to be thoughtful, intentional, purposeful, and do things with a great and grateful attitude.
Yeah, I totally agree. Sometimes if you're, someone told me, if you're in the room, be in the room. So when you're with your clients, you're coaching or training like I do and we all do, you just have to be there. You have to have the maximum intent for them because it's not about you, it's about them, but it's how you can inspire them, make them be in the room. So Fred, I'm curious, like you're 76 years young and you're sharp as anything. What do you do to make yourself as sharp as anything?
Just like Russ was saying, even though things hit you, like you say you had a knee replacement, I think, yeah, modern medicine is just amazing. And along with that, sometimes things you just have to go do. And, but gosh, just the fact that it's an incredible way to have this passion inside of you and this energy that you have. And I've just been blessed with it. And when I energize myself and I start doing things, little things, step by step, like you were saying, Russ, just little things, you get to this point where you're inspiring yourself. You have to be your own motivator. And when you motivate yourself, your energy starts showing outward, and that passion and energy, you can share that with your clients and your audience. And when you've got that, and I remember when I was first, getting up on stage playing as a musician, man, when you can share that energy out and the audience is out there and dance, and they're dancing and having a great time and really enjoying what you're doing, the energy you get back, it's tremendous. And that inspires me more. It just,
and that's a good,
out that energy, you get it back.
That's a great point you bring up there, Fred, because the number one thing I do when I need encouragement or blessing is encourage and bless others. So I intentionally reach out and encourage people and tell them how much I appreciate them and what a blessing they are to me. And that gives me energy. They don't even have to give me anything back. Just the fact that I'm able to do that and bless other people, and God's given me the ability to have to be able to do those things is amazing. It's simply amazing. So I appreciate that so much, and I think of the little things that are really not so little. I think of new friends like Fred today. I made a new friend. I think of this meeting I'm going to today with some people I don't know, some more new friends. I think of blessings like ever. I think you all think I'm amazing because I'm holding my computer in my car and I'm typing in the comments, but that's not me. That's my virtual assistant who's amazing, who's watching Ever. She's incredible. And she's actually making comments this morning because she's an amazing person. I'm thankful for all those kind of things. And that blesses me every day.
So the question I was going to ask actually, because we're all in business and we've all been in business for a while, but where do people lose out on being grateful or preaching gratitude or giving gratitude for the work that they're doing? Because I was in a coaching session today and I had to stop everyone. And because they've been flying for the last 10 years, but they haven't never stopped. But looking back at what they've done is an air of appreciation of where they got to. And I think that's essential in business, to actually have a look at the journey along the way and having a look at the points or the anchor points along the way, how I like to see them, and go, well, I'm grateful for that. I did really well with that. I did really well with that. But also learned a lot about certain situations along the way. And that for me is a great way to stop and think about your business or other people's businesses. What does everyone else think?
Fred, go ahead.
Yeah, I just finished a chapter in the latest book, my fourth book I'm writing, called Leadership with an Attitude. And the chapter is about being grateful for what you have. Because even when I was working, especially as an electrician and construction and stuff, you get a lot of these people say, I hate my job. This is just terrible. Oh my gosh. And I tell them, hey, you know what? Think about the things you have. I mean, you say, oh, I'll use this, my phrase earlier, says, change your got tos until you get to. Says, oh, I got to get up today and go to work. Oh, I got to drive in this traffic to get to my job. Oh, I got to take this special training to keep my license up. And say, my gosh, change it to, man, you have a car. You get to drive in this traffic to go to this job. I have a job. I get to go to this job. I get to do these things. I get to have to learn more and grow more and be a better me, be the best me I can be. Because a lot of people, I see they're struggling. I'm just a cog in the wheel here at this corporation. My value is just nothing. I said, look, it doesn't matter what position you're in. You do, my point about leadership with an attitude is you don't have to be the boss to be a leader. You can be the best janitor in the company you can be, and be the best example and be a leader as a janitor. To be the best electrician you can be, to be the best secretary you can be. Those kind of attitudes of being grateful for where you are, and you have this inward thought about how valuable your point is. If you drive up to a company, Russ or Jason, if you drive up and the yard outside's not mowed, and concrete's all cracked and the building's not painted, you open the door and it creaks. You walk in and the secretary says, yeah, can I help you? You're not going to do business with that company.
Yeah.
The groundskeeper, the janitor, the floors, these are all valuable to making it. Successful companies are looking for leaders in every field so they can be examples and leaders to everyone they touch. It's imperative.
Love it. Russ, can you add some more onto that? Because that was so phenomenal. So well done for that.
That's like a mic drop for Fred. It's hard to add to that, but no, it's really, I could not agree more. That, attitude is so critical to your business and all that you're doing. And the problem is we get caught up in the daily woes of life. And really, honestly, we need to be aligned with our purpose in our life. And if we're at a job where we cannot make that mind shift, we're where we shouldn't be. I mean, if it is so horrible that we can't get over and get out of that, I tell young people, if you're at a job you hate, quit.
Yeah.
I mean, and I always let it sit there, and they're all looking at me like, I can't quit. I have to have a job. I'm like, well, be responsible, get another job, but do not stay somewhere where you cannot get out of this negative mindset. Because yes, you can make a change strictly in your mind. Sometimes, though, it takes a physical change in what you're doing. But your every day, as my book subtitle says, you get to live the life you choose. And I've had people tell me, well, I don't choose what happens to me. You're right, you don't. But life happens, and then you choose. Life happens to you, and then you get to choose what you do with it. You get to choose your attitude, you get to choose your perspective. And you know what? Why not be joyful? Why not smile and laugh? And why not love life? Because the alternative is not so good.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I
always like to say, and I nicked this from the legendary Zig, connect your passion with your purpose to your dream. And I think if you lead by that, and that's ingrained into my head now, because that's the way I like to live, and that's what I love, what I do. Look, we're coming up fairly close to switching off. Just quickly around the table, just a couple of words of gratitude with attitude and what they mean to you and how it can help others go forward. Fred.
Well, let's see. Abraham Lincoln once said, most people are as happy and as grateful as they decide to be.
Right.
So it's your choice. We always have a choice. You can make that choice. And one of Zig's favorite quotes was to look back in forgiveness, forward in hope, down in compassion, and up in gratitude. So we should be grateful for everything we have. We're here for a purpose, and we want to share that with passion and dignity and integrity.
Awesome. What about yourself, Russ?
Well, first of all, hi, Alex. I see you there this morning. It is just critical to your attitude to have gratitude. You have to be thankful and feel blessed for what you have, or you're never going to have a good attitude. If you're constantly in the woes of life, like Fred said, you're as happy as you choose to be, right? Yeah. And so you choose your attitude. Just remember that every day. And it may be hard, it may be a struggle. And all of us here today have had our struggles and our tough times. But you know what? You get through it. You keep moving forward. It's one foot after the other, one step after the other. You move forward and you make little increments. And I'll tell you, yesterday, I was having a little bit of internal anxiety, which is unusual for me. And what did I start doing, Fred? I started recounting out loud to myself the good things I'd already done yesterday, the good things that were happening to me. And suddenly I felt a whole lot better.
Right. You can change that channel every time.
So what I think is have everything with a positive intent. As much as sometimes you might take a couple of steps back, but as long as you're moving forward,
right,
be good and kind and considerate to others. Like other people might be having a crappy day. And the example is if you're having a frustration with your broadband, as an example, and you give out to the customer service rep, imagine how they feel. So when you're good, they're going to help you a lot more. When you're nice to them, when you appreciate them, they're going to do everything that they can. And when you go into shops and retail and restaurants, just say thank you and make them smile and make them laugh. That's the way I like to see. So look, guys, thanks, Fred. Thanks, Russ. You've been absolutely incredible today. And look, I wish you both all the very best. Appreciate that. Have a great day. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Russ.